Warning! Foreign accent! Hello and welcome yet to another episode from The Foreign Citizen. Today's episode is a spooky episode because it's Halloween. In this episode, I'm gonna be Negan
I'm gonna be Jack Sparrow.
and our guest.
I'm trying to figure it out yet. I'm supposed to be.
I know that you own money. Probably you own money.
Oh yeah.
Because he has blood in his.
No, that was a cocaine overdose.
Okay,
You know,
okay, okay.
That's how they
What's
got rid of you.
I was a dead Cuban. I just,
Yeah.
I tried to be Tony Montana, but I don't.
It didn't work.
No.
And our fourth guest is already dead, probably
yeah.
of boredom. So guys, before we start this, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like the video, comment, reach to us on Instagram. Let us know if you want to be a guest on our podcast. We would love to have you. But tonight, it's just going to be scary stories, right?
I hope. I mean, yeah.
Let's see.
Let's see. So,
Cheers.
cheers.
Cheers again for the
Yeah.
fifth time. Man, I'm getting drunk already.
Aren't you Jack Sparrow?
I don't know how we're gonna start this because we are always like fun. We always like to laugh. We always like to. But tonight it's gonna be. I mean, we already did the setup,
Yeah.
so
We can talk about my life. It's a tragedy.
Julio, you're getting funnier, man. You're training.
I'm gonna try to control myself. I talked to Sam like I'm the funny of the
podcast.
and he's the quote guy. He always like super with the tiny violin. Like, he's always talking like super deep stuff, and I always like talking shit.
Yeah,
But that's part of it. That's
mean,
the balance.
You need to have a balance. Yeah.
we have fun. So, man, the setup is a bit spooky.
Yeah, you guys did a good job.
Well, we're glad to have you again on the podcast. So, welcome back.
Oh yeah. We had so much fun last time. I wanted to keep on going, but we just ran out of battery and ran out of memory, and it was hot.
It was hot,
Yeah,
and we were on the beach, so we wanted to take a dive.
yeah, it was great. It was, I thought I was gonna choke, but it turned out okay.
Yeah. Once you forget that there's a camera, you get used to it and you keep going.
Yeah.
I don't think that I'm gonna forget about the camera because I have all of these, man. It's hot in here.
What happened to your little goatee?
Oh, we forgot about it.
No.
What is it?
Man.
Okay. While
It ran away. It ran away.
while Julio searched for his manhood,
Damn.
I'm gonna ask you, Cesar, what is your experience with Halloween growing up? Were you like, as a kid, were you afraid of it? Were you?
So, well,
Are you a person who like scary stuff or no?
Do you believe in that?
I-
Any question? I know.
I have no doubt that there's crazy shit outside. And I've always been afraid of, like, when I was growing up, I had to have a little light in the socket.
Wow.
Um,
You were afraid from
What-
the ghost
yeah.
under the bed.
yeah, I was afraid of the monster. Those little stories that your parents tell you so you don't get off bed at 2 a.m. They're like, oh, there's a monster under the bed. And I've looked for the monster, never found it. And then, they would tell me, when the lights are off, you can't step on the floor. So I would have when you have the hallway light on, there's a beam of light going into the room. I would jump from my bed into the light, into the beam, so I wouldn't. It was
Probably nothing happened to you because you cover with your blanket. That's the best protection.
Yeah.
If you cover entirely with your blanket, no, man, that's like a bulletproof. And
I didn't. It's the first time I hear of this.
That what you used to do? This is what you used
if
to
you
do?
cover with the blanket, nothing is happening.
Well, yeah. Well,
But if you leave your feet outside the blanket, probably you're dead, man.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
or I think that doesn't count because
You're
I used to
always-
do all these.
yeah,
all the
you're
time.
always afraid that I have my feet outside of the blanket because it's hot,
Yeah.
And
Well,
someone's
yeah.
gonna grab it and drag me out of the bed.
Yeah, that was one of the things you have to, the pros and cons, because I always, even if it's cold, I have to have my foot sticking out of the sheets.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the regulator.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
I have my foot inside, I'll just sweat.
Yeah.
It can be 60 degrees and I'll just sweat. As long as I stick my foot out, I'm good.
And I have a problem. I always need to have a blanket. Even if it's hot, I have to cover. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And my sister is the same. I don't know why.
Shout out to his sister.
Yeah,
So-
well, you asked about Halloween. Well, in the Dominican Republic,
There's no Halloween in Dominican.
no, yeah, there is. Of course there is. But it's
The rich
it's-
people, man. I never had Halloween in my life. That
He
was demoniac.
Uh,
How do you say that? Like,
No, I'm sorry, Julio. You missed.
Sorry for your
Yeah.
childhood.
Yeah,
man.
sorry for your child. Well, yeah, when you're little, your school has these Halloween parties.
man,
and
do you
then-
see that? Like, that never happened
Rich
in my
people,
school.
rich
man.
people.
You
No.
were in a bilingual like school, right?
That doesn't
Yeah.
matter. And yeah,
We got you, man.
So
He's the rich guy. Beat the
Yeah.
shit out of him.
I'm already dead. I don't care. Anyway, so yeah, you dressed as Power Rangers. That. When I was 11, I dressed up as the Scream guy from the movie Scream.
Mhm. Everyone dressed up as Scream
Yeah.
at one point.
Not
Yeah.
me, man.
Not you? Man, I feel bad. We're gonna go buy him a mask.
Yeah, let's. You know what?
Man,
let's prepare a Halloween party just for
This is
you.
the first time dressing up.
Man, I'm a kid again. It's like I feel it, man.
Yeah,
for
but-
the first time.
But
Really?
Not for the first time, because I've been in Halloween party, but like all people,
But then when I moved to Miami, when I was 6 and 7, 8, 9, whatever, we would trick or treat in the street.
Man, I wanna do this.
Don't.
Do you think? Do you
What? You wanna
You
go
wanna
knock
go
on doors
trick-or-treating?
and
do you
trick and
think-
treat?
Do you think that they are gonna give me like candies? and
They're gonna
candies?
fucking shoot you.
I don't know, man.
Man,
That's weird.
Get off my
If I
property.
If I shave, probably. Man, there's kids like with 13 years that look older than me. So
Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
probably I can get.
So you really wanna relive your childhood?
Man, of course.
So you never
We-
did that?
No. If you do that in Dominican Republic, I don't know what's gonna happen.
The
Probably.
hit you with a bat.
Yeah, probably.
Mira, muchacho, el diablo.
So, did you do that in Lebanon?
Yeah. Well, in Lebanon we don't have Halloween. We have Saint Barbara's Day, which is it got like a similar story to. No. Actually, it's not a similar story to Halloween. It's basically about a saint that used to be Christian, and her father didn't want her to be Christian, so she had to escape. So she dressed up, and this is like a part of like the Catholic version of Halloween. So it's not like the celebration of the dead. It's the opposite. But yeah, we used to go like trick and treating and all that stuff. And we used to like our entire village. Everyone used to go. So you would have dressed up people meeting on the middle of the road, and sometimes they fight each other. Yeah, and the next year we like you remember?
This group was a gang. You know?
Yeah.
The gang.
Remember like last year those guys wearing screams. This year we're gonna kick their asses. We need to figure out who those are and kick their asses. So it was always like this. It was always fun. So it was fun if you had like a big group with you. If you were the gang controlling the
If you
streets.
have bats. With
Yeah.
What are you like?
But
Trafficking candy and shit.
Yeah.
yeah, right. Something similar. Like kids used to go like around maybe 4 or 6 p.m. But us growing up, man, we kept doing this till we were like 18. So we used to like,
Wow.
it's like the purge, but without the killing. I'm not even
Live
kidding.
then alive.
I'm not even
Yeah.
kidding.
That
Yeah.
must be fun.
So we used to go like we used to like hit people, and people used to hit us. It was a lot of fun.
Well, we have el Carnaval
Yeah.
Is,
It's in February. It's way different.
is a Dominican. Well, it's a very old celebration. It's in February.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of on during the same week as the Dominican independence.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people confuse it with being like a independent celebration, but that has nothing to do with the independence. So basically, el Carnaval is like gangs.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gangs, but it's like
a group of
groups.
people.
Groups.
Like each neighbor has.
Yeah, like each neighborhood, like clubs, and even like big companies, they sponsor groups,
Mm-hmm.
and they dress up with like these awesome masks, and they have these.
But you would know who those people
No,
are.
you don't.
No, you don't.
They
have-
so they
But you
go,
know who the company that hired
No,
them?
no,
no. It's all
nothing.
anonymous. Yeah,
so
that's
you
the
go
shit.
you go on the streets and they're like dancing and they have these balloons and they fucking smack the shit out of you. They like
Yeah.
hit you and you're like they're like running and they hit each other.
Yeah. I mean,
It's-
we never like really hit someone like to get him into hospital. We're just like harassing people.
Now that
This
I think
balloon,
of,
this balloon is like concrete.
Yeah,
if
it's
they
hard.
hit you with that, I
They-
don't know what is that made of.
I think they filled it up with like I don't know sand.
Sand,
or, yeah.
I think. Yeah.
It's hard. Now that I think about it, they should ban this shit.
I think they banned it. Like,
Like
Straight to jail.
I remember I was 12 years old, 13. I got hit in the butt so
Damn.
bad that I never wanted to go back. Like I never wanted to go back. And we went there because my dad's friend was like sponsoring one of the groups. Mm-hmm. And
you know, rich people.
Rich people. His dad is the sponsor. What do you expect?
No,
You're
not-
trying
not-
to find somewhere to go and trick
Oh
and
my
treat,
God.
and his father is the sponsor.
Yeah.
no.
That's why you
His
walk.
friend.
You walk.
Burn the rich.
That's why you walk this way. Like.
What are you,
like-
Bernie Sanders?
But that's why you walk this way. Like when you walk, like you do this movement. No.
No, that's because I have a bad ankle.
Okay.
Wow, you guys are
So,
horrible.
well, so let's dive in the topic. So, do you believe in like spirits and ghosts and dead people?
I think that the same way good things are like exist, like God and all this, bad things exist too. So it's like a yin yang.
Okay.
So I don't believe that nothing has happened to me, and I'm not scared of anything.
But you were telling me like about the ghosts you see when sleeping,
Man,
like
I
when
was-
you had those
it was a lucid
seizures.
dream. It was a lucid dream, and I'm kind of I can control my dreams.
You
I
can.
I have this power. Like
Oh
now,
shit.
now we are in Inception.
This is the perfect costume for him. I have this power. Yeah, man.
I
you
got
know?
the
Jujuwawa. Jujuwawa, I have powers.
yeah, like
You practice that
the-
voodoo shit.
in the in the dreams, I can realize if something is if I see something that is out of normal, I can
Change
say,
it.
So you're living in a permanent Grand Theft Auto in your brain. You're like,
Yeah. Man, I can.
I'm gonna steal this car.
I've done crazy shit. In my
Okay, tell us about like your scariest dream.
Okay, so one time you have heard about the lucid dream. I don't think it's lucid dream is the name, but it's a dream like you're dreaming, and you feel like you are alive, like you already woke up, but you can't move in the bed. I was in the bed. I was in New York first of all, and my mother and my uncle were in the living room, and they were watching TV. And for real, they were watching TV. So I woke up.
So you are like completely awake. You
Yeah.
are aware of where you
Yeah,
are and
awa-
everything.
Aware of everything. So I woke up and I saw this lady. I think it was a lady because it has like hair, long hair, and the hair was like floating, and the hair was moving, and her hand was like trying to grab me.
Where
Right.
was she? Like above you?
No, like floating in front of me. I was in the bed. And I was trying to move and I couldn't. And I was screaming to my mom and I was like, I couldn't. And I listened my mom talking to my aunt. They were watching TV. And I listened everything and I was like, man, like I was screaming like super high and I couldn't talk.
Yeah.
It was creepy. But then because I have this power, you know. I
I think Julio ate some bad mushrooms or something.
But I realized that it was a dream, and I just stay there till she get tired.
She's like,
and left.
okay, I'm tired. See
Man,
ya.
this guy is not responding anymore. Fuck him. And she left. And then I woke up, and my mom was in the living room
Watching
and
TV.
Yeah, and on top of me there was a big banana. So probably I don't know. It's weird. Like probably that.
Oh,
was,
yeah. Actually, this happens. Now I know what you're talking about. Sometimes you are like halfway wake up and you see something and you think it's something else, and then your brain try to make you believe like, yeah, this is actually a ghost. This is actually someone.
Yeah.
And you are like in this stage when you are waking up, but at the same time you're not awake. So your brain can't really process what you're seeing and realizing like, oh, it's just a banana. So you think it's just some crazy lady floating above you.
Yeah.
I think that will happen.
And I remember again. I remember one of my friends that used to happen to them, but not with this lady. Like it happened a lot to her. But then I was searching on internet to see, and all the pictures that I found was the same fucking lady.
Really?
For real. Like if you search it right now on Google, it's gonna be the same. Like the same description that I gave you. And I've never searched about it. They say it's like a spirit or something.
Yeah,
Damn.
It is like a
Hold
it's
on,
like a devil.
does it have like black hair and she's like a wrinkly face?
Yeah.
She's old.
Yeah.
Man, I saw the lady.
Could you move or not?
No, it's a different story.
He hit her with the bat.
No, man. It's a different story. I'm gonna tell you the story later. What about you? Any stories?
I mean, I have probably a lot. First of all, I do believe that there's, have you ever heard that Jesus passed away when he was 30? Well, he didn't pass away.
33.
They crucified him at 3:33 p.m. He ascended to the heavens.
Didn't know that.
So yeah, there's a legend that at 3:33 a.m. all the bad shit just comes out. Whatever. I used to be like a believer of that. I mean, it should exist, whatever, but you kind of stop thinking about these things. But I have felt like weird stuff, and I've had weird dreams, and I've had reoccurring dreams that I can't control. I don't have that power you have. You have
I'm gonna give you my tricks.
You have this power, right?
You need the things that you.
Yeah.
Section.
But the worst dream I've ever had is drowning.
Drowning,
Drowning,
water?
but you never die. Like you're constantly drowning.
And could you like breathe?
And you can't breathe.
That shit.
And I've woken up like in the middle of the night, like, and it's crazy. Like you feel like you're dead. One time I had a dream that I got shot in the back, and I felt like the heat in my back, and I woke up and I was looking for like, am I okay? And I felt like my body was like hot. I don't know. There was crazy stuff. I don't like get too much into that, but
Okay.
But yeah, there's.
I'm gonna tell you a creepy story. So I grew up in a village in Lebanon. It's more like a city, but when I was like a kid growing up, it was like a tiny village. So we used to walk everywhere, and we used to have like all those creepy story. But there's a village right next to us. It's like, so our village is on this mountain, and the next village it's called Fdar. It's on the mountain just facing us.
Yeah, that's a good part of Lebanon. Like you have.
Yeah, not in this story. So this village, my grandfather used to live there, and they all moved to where we live now because of some crazy shit happening all the times. So now if you go there, there's only like abandoned houses, just abandoned houses. And we were asking like, why we don't go there? And we own land over there. Like we own, like our family owned the entire mountain, but no one goes there. So we were asking like,
and you're saying that I'm rich?
Yeah.
This guy fucking owns a mountain?
so
Shit.
growing up, we always ask like, what's the story? What's happening? And they told us like, this area is not good. It's not good, you know. They were giving us like all those, like we don't have roads, blah, 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 blah. And then one time we met this guy who used to live there, and he's old. And he's like, you want to know the real story? I'm like, yeah, cool. And he's like, okay, sit down. I'm going to tell you the story. And now I'm going to tell you the story for you.
Motherfucker.
I'm going to tell you the story. So in that town, in that village, used to live an old lady. And she has only one son. And this lady is called Melke. Okay? And she had only this one son, and this son got married. And when she got married, her son asked her, like, Mom, are you going to give me the ring? She's like, no, this ring is for family only. And I would give that ring for my daughter because this ring, my mother gave it to me. And before her, her mother gave it to her. And even before her, her mother gave it to her. So I cannot give it to you because you're not my daughter. And I don't want to give it to my daughter-in-law. So this ring will die with me. And it was like one of those like gold rings, not like diamond shit or whatever, just like the real gold, like, you know, from Lord of the Ring kind of ring.
Yeah, like my precious.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there were like, at the time it was right after the Second World War, and everything was like shitty. No one was doing good, and gold has its value. You know, like gold is shit. And they were like really suffering, and he was like always trying to get the ring and tell his mom, like, Mom, like, let's sell the ring. We can live, we can buy food, and you need to understand, at that time people were dying because they had no food. So it's I mean, it makes sense to ask for the ring to sell it. But this lady, she was very attached to it. She was like, no, that's not going to happen. Eventually, that lady died. She died. They buried her. It's it. She died. And she insisted on, like, when I die, you need to bury my ring with me.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Okay?
It's like Andrea, the movie.
So they buried her. A few years passed by. And this is a real story. I'm not like telling you shit. A few years passed by. And the daughter-in-law, which is the wife of the kid, she was telling him, like, listen, your mom died. We're not doing good. There's no point of burying a ring underground. Like, there's really no point. And she's dead. Like, why do you care? She's dead. And he's like, what do you want me to do? She's like, go, dig up the body, and get the ring.
They could take the ring before, but okay, it's okay.
She's dead now.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. She's my mother. How can you suggest that? She's like, no, you need to do that. Like, we need the money. He never did it. A few years passed by, and his kid got ill, and they had to go to the hospital. They needed the money. He had no other option except then to go dig up the body. So on a Friday night, he went there. He took a shovel. He took everything. He dug up the body. He found the body. She was dead. It's not like she woke up and slapped him. No. And he tried to get the ring. Now, the ring was stuck in her finger. So he was like pulling.
Miguel's liking the story.
He was like pulling the ring, and the ring did not come off. And he kept pulling. Eventually, he broke her finger and took the ring. He then left, sold the ring, got some money, got his kid through the hospital. Everything's perfect. No, they lived. They were not rich, but they sold the ring. So years passed by. Everything passed by. No one heard anything. Like, no one asked who dug up the nothing. And on a Friday night, at the exact same time when he dug up the grave, his door knocked. He opened the door, and it was raining like crazy. And it was this old lady dressed up in black. And she's not his mom. Like, he didn't say, oh, that's mom. No, it's not like a ghost of his mom. Just this old lady dressed up in black. And she's like, oh, I need somewhere to stay. It's raining. He's like, what are you doing here? Like, you are so far from anything. She's like, no, I'm just walking from this town to this town, and it started raining, and I need somewhere to stay. He's like, okay, how can I help you? She's like, can you start by giving me a cup of water? Because I'm thirsty. And she's like this old, wrinkly lady that has like basically 2 teeth in her mouth. And she was just standing on the door with behind her in the background, so you can see like the thunder, rain. And this guy was like suspicious. He's like, okay, well, let me grab a cup of water for you. And as he was walking toward the kitchen, he looked at her hand, and she had no finger. And he's like, oh shit.
Okay, good.
Oh shit. So we went back there, and he's like, "Can I ask you a question before I host you in?" She's like, "Yeah, of course, son. Ask." He's like, "It's just so weird, but I want to know what happened to your finger." And as he asked her this, she looked up, and she's like, "Aren't you the one who took my finger?"
Motherfucker.
And disappeared.
Fuck.
So it was the ghost of his mother haunting him.
And then
And then he shit his pants. I don't know what happened to him. He never lived there ever again.
but why did your family abandon the
Well, this is what this guy told us. Like, there's a lot of weird shit happening over there. And also, it was far from everything, so fuck that.
Damn it.
I'm 31 years old and I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
Man, it's a shitty story, man. It's a shitty story. Have someone ever like pranked you and make you feel like, oh, you are seeing ghosts?
We've done pranks, but not about dead people. Like, I mean, one time. Go ahead. One time we were pranking like friends from my grandparents' house from their phone back when people still had phones.
Mm-hmm.
And my little cousin called a kid that went to school with him, and he starts talking with this deep voice like, "Oh, I know where you live. I know what school you go to. Like, I'm gonna kidnap you." Like this kid was like 9 years old and came up with a fucked up prank, and like the mother was the one that picked up the phone, and he just hung up and started laughing, and I was like in awe, like, what the fuck did he just do? Like, you just called a house saying that you're gonna kidnap their kids, and he's like laughing, it's a joke. Next day, I'm home after school. I get a phone call from my cousin's mom, like, "Hey, did you call this family and say that you were gonna kidnap them?" And I'm like, "Nope, that was not me. That was your child." And she's like, "That's not what he told me." I'm like, "Well, I mean, I would never do that." "Why? What happened?" "Well, they called the police.
Damn.
They traced, the caller ID back to your grandparents' house. They called your grandma. She was like, 'Oh yeah, these kids were here, but no, whatever. This is probably a prank.' The kid's dad was traveling for work. He came back like overnight because he thought that they were gonna kidnap the kid, whatever. The kid went to school with like security guards because
Damn.
apparently they had
Threats, real threats.
yeah. And I was like, wow, that escalated quickly. And oh my god, like, and my cousin, he said it was me. I'm gonna fuck her. And that was, and when we went to my grandma's house for like a few months, we were not allowed to use the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I just imagined
For good reasons.
yeah, obviously. And I just imagined like being on the other side of the phone.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, when my cousin was like 10, his voice was like, but he was like, like a deep voice. It was just, stupid kid stuff
Yeah.
that could get you in a lot of trouble.
Yep.
Like the police got involved, and it was just ridiculous. One time I called 911. This is not. Well, it's
Not scary for Halloween.
It's funny for me, but it's very scary for my mom. I was 7 years old. I lived with my mom in Coconut Grove. It was just me and her.
Ching, ching, ching,
No, we lived in a little apartment.
I'm gonna. Man,
What is?
ka-ching.
No, that's not me.
Man, first, like, if you call my house and you say that you're gonna kidnap me,
Your mom would be like,
probably
okay.
won't gonna say that. Man, we don't have money. Like, what the fuck are you? What do you want from us?
Well, he's for sale if you want.
Well, so I was 7 years old. I lived with my mom, and she told me, "Oh, I'm gonna go get food." It was like 10 p.m. It was a Saturday, and I was watching TV, and she's like, "Let's go get food." You're 7 years old. You can't stay by yourself. So
Yeah.
she's like, "Let's go." I'm like, "No, no, no. I'll just stay, watch TV." She's like, "No, let's go." No, no, I'm okay. Like, don't worry about it. Just I'm watching TV. You can go and get food. But my mom did not come back in 20 minutes. She went out with some friends. This part she denies, but I have proof. So I just fall asleep. I wake up like at 1 in the morning, 12, whatever. It was late. It definitely more than 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to my mom's bedroom and I'm like, "Oh, where is she?" I go look around and I start panicking because she said she was gonna come back. I was like, "Oh my God." So back in the day, you had no cell phone. It was beeper.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to the neighbor, knock on the door. He's not there. Go downstairs, knock on the door. No one's there. So I start, panicking. I'm like, "Oh my God. I don't know how to call beeper." So what do? I call 911. You didn't have Google back then. So I call 911 and I'm like, yeah, like I'm trying to call beeper, and the lady's like, "Oh, this is an emergency line. You can only call and this is an emergency." Okay, so I hang up, call again. "I'm alone in my house. My mom left me. Come and get me." And hang up. Listen, 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes.
Damn it.
A police car. Whoop! And I was like excited, like, yeah, like
Police here,
Yeah, the
we're going for the
police.
ride.
and this big fat Cuban guy with a big mustache and a big cigar, like very,
Mm-hmm.
typical, like stereotypical. So he comes, he knocks on my door, and I like give him the thing for the beeper number, and he calls on the phone, and my mom calls like right away, like 5 minutes later she calls, and he's like, "Yeah, this is officer whatever, and come to
Get
your
your ass
house.
here.
Come to your house." So we go downstairs in the middle of the road. He's parked, so I get on top of his of the hood,
Uh-huh.
and I'm just sitting there like, "God, this is a police car, so cool." I'm not even thinking about my mom, or I don't care at this point. I'm like, police car, so cool.
Does she still in jail?
No. Yeah. So she comes like, I just remember the car was like, the rim just went flying. And she parks and she walks, and I swear to God, her makeup was just smeared all over her face. She was crying. So the officer goes and says, "Hey, you can't be leaving your son on his own. This is dangerous. Thank God that I'm a Latin cop, because if it would have been a white cop, he could easily take your child to child services, this and this." And she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I was getting food, but then my tire broke and whatever, and then I needed help." And I was like, So the same tires that you left, and I could never shut my mouth.
I imagine.
Like I can never.
So
shut
you were
my-
saying that in front of
in
the
front of the
cop.
cops, in front of the police, and my mom was like, "Shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up." And I'm like, because honest, you're 7, whatever, you're
Yeah.
7 years old,
Kids don't
you're
lie.
honest, you have no filter, you don't know. So the cop leaves, boop, and he's like, "Hey, you gotta, you can't be doing this. You can't leave your kid alone." Blah, blah, blah. So she's like, "I'm so sorry. Thank you for not getting us in trouble." So he leaves, and I'm
And you
like,
get your ass whooped.
hang on. So as we're walking in the bricked road from the street to the entry of the building is like, 50 feet,
Mm-hmm.
and we're walking, and I'm like, you got
Yeah.
in trouble. She just grabs me, like Dominican moms. I don't know in any other part of the world, But when they fucking tweak she just tweaked my arm like, you little shit. And I'm like, you want me to call 911 again? Listen, she whooped my ass so bad.
You
And she was
deserved it.
crying. She was crying like, you don't know. You could get me in trouble. And I'm like, don't leave me alone. She's like, but I told you to come with me. I'm like, yeah, you were partying. I can smell the liquor. And she just hit me even more and more. And then she denied it for like a few years. But then I did my research, did my
Yeah.
research and found out that she was in a club with some friends. Because she's like, went to get the food, but then she said, he's already asleep. Let me just continue my
Everything.
nightlife. And I was like, you, that was not good. That was not a good move. And oh my God, that was.
Shout out to Cesar's mom. Again.
Oh yeah. And to this day, she's gonna deny that she went out to party. But you.
Okay, Cesar's mom.
Shout out.
Give us your true story down in the comment.
That is
let
a
us
true
let us
story.
know if this guy is lying and
No,
making
I'm
up
not.
shit.
I'm not lying. I
She
swear to-
watched this, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
She watched
leave-
the first one, and she told me the town my family comes from is not with a C. It's with a G.
G.
Gazir.
Gazir. Oh
Yeah.
man, you're my neighbor.
Yeah. You
That's
can see
mountain.
from mountain to mountain.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. That
It's not a real mountain. It's like a hill. More like a hill
Hey,
compared
I'm
to Lebanon.
sorry.
But
I'm sorry,
yeah,
I-
it's the same height as where I live, like the same.
But-
He
but-
showed me. He showed me. In the
But
back.
it's not a
Gazir.
mountain. It's it's an edge. He has a mountain.
No. I live on the edge too, but it's not like the real mountain.
Man, in Dominican Republic, that's the fucking Everest. So
Yeah.
Oh man, look, I did some scary pranks. Like one time, I told Julio about this prank. Man, this prank. So, being an architecture student, you have your own space to study. You have like, we call it atelier, which is basically the workshop where we used to study. And when we moved to our new house, I had like a dedicated space for me to like study, and eventually it became an office. Yeah, rich kids.
rich kids.
My atelier was my living room.
So,
Oh, you have a living room? we have a
You're
kitchen. Man, we have a kitchen with a table, and that was our living room.
Wow, you're.
man, I don't know what to say. I feel bad. Like we should, after we finish this, we should like
Listen.
take him, make up for him.
We're gonna have to ask your mom about that.
Yeah. So in that workshop, all my friends used to go there and used to come and study with me, because not everyone was lucky enough to have a workshop. Okay.
Man,
He's looking at me.
I don't feel bad. I'm okay now. Like,
It's bad to be rich.
It's bad.
It's bad.
Yeah.
I overcome
So-
that. Listen.
Everyone used to go there, and eventually, I gave a copy of the key to everyone. Okay, so we were like me and 3 other friends. It was Ramsey. Shout out to Ramsey. I don't know if he's watching us. I don't think so. He's in Canada now. And it was Nabil. We used to call him Nubs. So that's his name. His name is Nubs, and he has this trick. He's this type of guy that he's like Tony Montana, but Lebanese, and he's like 5 foot, like a balloon. He's so funny. He's a character. So every time he's like, that was his move. Like he's always smoking. I feel like I need a cigarette. That was a thing. So and he was always afraid of everything. And then this other guy, his name is Serial. So at that night,
Cereal,
Serial.
like the cereal.
No, it's Serial.
Like serial killer?
No. So that night, Nubs reached out to me, and he's like, "Man, I have a lot of work. Can I come and work overnight at your workshop?" I'm like, "Sure, man. You have a key. Just go there and work." So he got there around like 11 p.m. and he started working. Now, the workshop is like in the middle of the garden. It's underground. It only have like a door, a window, and if you are sitting in the workshop, it's like a tunnel with this tiny window at the end. Tiny window. And we used to sit, like the setup was, the table was perpendicular to that window. So let's say this is the table, the window is at the end. Okay, it's a tiny window, and he was sitting at the head of the table working, and I wanted to go and check on him, and it was 3 a.m. I was at a party. I came back. I wanted to go check on him, and the workshop is in the middle of the garden, with nothing around it, nothing at all, except my dog. And whenever someone comes, my dog barks, except if it's me. He doesn't bark because I'm his, owner. So he was working.
It's okay.
So he was sitting there. He was working, and I was like, I need to fuck with this guy. Like, I need to fuck with him. So I went down the stairs. I got next to the workshop. He didn't see me. I was like looking at him, and he was like, working and smoking, and I knocked on the window, and he's like, Samer, Sam. I didn't answer, and because the dog didn't bark, it's definitely me. But I'm not answering. So what the fuck is this? Spike. He started calling the dog. Spike. Nothing. He's like, oh, maybe I heard something, and he kept working, and then I did it again, and he's like, what the fuck is this? And he started calling me. So he took his phone and started calling me. So I looked at my phone. My phone was on silent. I was like, man, this guy he's gonna shit his pants. That's for sure. So what I did is I had a hoodie. I put the hoodie on, and I walked all the way to the tiny window, and I just stood there with the hoodie on. So I was just standing there, staring at him, and he was like just across from me, sitting on the table. Man, even for me, and I was pranking him, it was scary. I swear to God, even for me, it was scary. So I was just standing there, and it's like a tiny window in a very dark area, so you cannot tell who's standing there. So he's working, and then he look up, and he sees me. He rubs his eye. Is this real? Like, is this real? And I don't do anything. He's like, no, that's not real. And he continued working. Then I moved, and he looks again. There's no one there. He's like, oh shit, what is that? He works again. Then I'm there, man. And he was shitting his pants. He was shitting his pants, and he started calling me. He started like walking around. He's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, Sam! And he started like shouting. I was just standing there, man. I'm just standing there, man. Eventually, I was so afraid that he's gonna have a heart attack. So I told him, man, it's just me. Like, man, he was sweating. He was like almost about to cry and calling me and shouting.
No, that's too much.
Man, even I was scared. And I was the one doing the prank. And I was scared because it was so intense at 3 a.m. doing this to someone.
Jesus Christ.
Well,
so careful, Julio.
Man, I have not stories, like legends. When I used to go to my father's town, like we used to go there in the Carnival season. So it's very scary, and all these crazy things that happen there. So there was a legend of something that used to happen all the time. They used to hear a guy with a chain walking in the street.
What?
In a horse. Yeah. So at night, you can hear the chain, the chain. Like in the street every night. And they used to say that it was a spirit.
Did you ever hear it?
No, I was sleeping. Super deep sleeping. And you know that about the vaca. You know what is a vaca, right?
Isn't that the guy that transforms to like a dog?
Yes and no. I don't know. It's a weird story. Like, they take an animal and they do some voodoo on this animal.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know anymore. No idea.
And then like a person spirit
like a demon spirit is living in this animal.
There's a legend like in the southern region of the country. There's a lot of voodoo practice.
Yeah.
So they say that people can transform into animals. So if you see a dog in the street and then he goes into like an alleyway and then a guy comes out and then un vaca, like you know. And I had a guy that used to work with me in my previous job. He's from Haiti. He's been living here.
Oh, I know in Haiti they have a lot of crazy shit.
Yeah. So he he's very Christian, extremely Christian, and he's like very like a calm, like honest guy, you know, like very low key, and he's telling me, "Oh, zombies do exist," and I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Yeah, like in Haiti, when people die, they gotta lock the doors because zombies come and like rip the bodies off, and I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here, Milton," and he's like, "Oh no, listen, I swear to God, like." I saw one time this thing that happened, and I'm like, listen, this is too much for me. Just, continue working. It's 2 a.m. I don't want to talk about this. And he like, I worked close to the Everglades, so there was a lot of foxes and opossums and raccoons. And one night when we went to the plant to work, there was a dead raccoon in the middle of the yard. And I told him, hey, we gotta clean that. And he's like, no, I can't touch any dead bodies. Like anything dead, I can't touch it. Like, what do you mean? Like, no, because I've seen things, and if I touch, then the spirit. And I'm like, okay, enough. Enough
with the spirits.
I'm gonna go and clean it. I went with a black garbage thing, and then I dumped it in the garbage bin, and I'm like, don't tell me more stories. I don't want to hear it. And he's like, it's not a story. It's true. It's true. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not gonna sleep for like a week.
Man, we have something in like I don't think it's only Lebanon. It's all the Arab countries. So we call them jinn, which is basically an evil spirit. And those evil spirits, they basically control. Control is not the right word. They manipulate people's lives in many different ways, and they protect treasures. So we have
Jack Sparrow, he protects the treasure.
No, really, we have a place next to my house on the main road. Going to Horizon.
Of course.
On the main road.
Mm-hmm.
And this place, they always used to say, like, this place is protected by those evil spirits. And every time anyone tried to do something over there, it just breaks. Like, they try to do a road, the machine breaks. They try to do a building, the building, you cannot build it for many different reasons. And for the last, 10, 15 years, people keep dying over there. Whether by accident, whether by random shit, just people die exactly at that same spot. And I'm not talking like.
Did you guys go by there?
Yeah, it's right next to the gas station. Going to Horizon, the gas station.
The one where we cleaned your truck.
Yes.
Fuck.
Just above the gas station, and you can see there's a lot of sanctuaries, small places where they put cross or statue of Mary, because a lot of people died there. Yeah. One day I was going, and this is a very sad story. One day I was going to work when I used to have the jet skis. So I always go to the station to fill up the tanks with gas for my jet ski business. So I was going there, and I don't know what got into me, because usually I just go to the station, I fill up the gas, and I go and I head south toward the beach. So I got there, I fill up the tanks, and for a random reason, which I still to this day do not understand, instead of going right, I decided to go left.
Bless you.
Bless you. So instead of going right, I decided to go left. So I took a left turn, I drove up, and then I'm like, what the fuck where am I going? So I made the U-turn, and as I make the U-turn, I found, man, a motorbike outside the road and a dead guy. Can you believe that, man? No one saw him. No one knew about him. For some reason, which I do not understand till this day, and this is a routine that I do every day. I fill up the tanks, take a right, go to the beach. That day, I took a left turn, and then what the fuck, where am I going? made a U-turn, saw that guy dead.
Jesus.
And I think,
What did you do with the bike?
man, we had to call, like, I had to stay there for like 3-4 hours because the police have to come. They need to find out. And apparently had an accident at night at this same spot where a lot of people already died. And he died there and no one found him till me in the morning. Who I was not supposed to be there, but something just pulled me toward finding this guy.
Maybe it was his spirit.
Maybe.
Telling you.
Man, it's so weird. So every time now I pass this street, I'm like always, cautious.
Wow.
A lot of crazy shit happened over there.
I have a story from Texas. I didn't tell you that.
What is it?
So when I was working in Texas, we have a building, the building that we were renovating. So they always used to say that this land was indigenous, how would you say that?
Cemetery.
Cemetery.
Oh, really?
Cemetery. Yeah.
Where the building is?
Yeah.
Wow.
So after they finished the building, the owner of the building didn't have enough money and he was in debt. And he owns a lot of money to the bank. And the building have some problems with the city. And he suicide. It's for real. Like you can, for
He
real.
committed suicide.
Yeah, in the building.
In that building, he.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. That's really spooky.
That's fucked up.
So
That's why this building is not doing well till this day.
Wait. I was in Texas working in this renovation, and suddenly the building start cracking. You know that.
Yeah.
And we have to take all the people, like in 2
Evacuate.
hours, evacuate all the people in 2
But
hours.
You found out about this after you were working already in the building?
Yeah.
Fuck.
So we have to evacuate, imagine like 200 people
Mm-hmm.
from that building in 2 hours.
And let me just explain this. They had to evacuate the people and they had to find them housing because people were living in that building.
Yeah. So all these people stay in hotels. And we have to close every single apartment with tape and everything, like an X with tape, and every door has a tape, so they know if somebody got into these rooms. And we have to go room by room, checking even the closets and everything.
If someone's there.
Yeah. So like one time I found somebody. The building was closed, and I don't know how. This guy went to this apartment, and I get into this apartment, and he was playing in his computer, and I had an inspector with me.
What did you tell him?
Man, imagine that the inspector was walking behind me, like 3 meters behind me, and I told him, go to another room. If they found that somebody was there, probably they will find us. Yeah, find us.
So did they see the guy?
No. I told him like go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And he hid behind the door in the bathroom. And when we finished, I went to the bathroom. I was looking for the guy. And what the hell is this guy again? And I went to the bathroom. He was like this behind the door. So going to the main story. They used to say that there was a cemetery for the indigenous, and one time, not one time, many times, even the building was closed. They used to see this old lady, like going and walking through the how do you say that?
The hallways.
The hallways, yeah.
Man, good thing I
And
didn't know that.
it's
when I
not
was
one.
there.
It's not just one person. Like many persons that were working with us, in the reception and everything, they used to walk the people to their apartment to get this stuff. They used to see this old lady many times. And you know that many shitty things happen. One time I was sleeping in this apartment. Once we opened the apartment and everything was okay, like we get with a deal with the city and we solve all the problems and everything.
Man,
Suddenly-
even
But suddenly, an explosion.
yeah.
I was sleeping in my bed. Imagine that I was sleeping and my bed was in this side of the bed, and it meant that it was so loud that my bed moved to the other side. And I thought that I was dreaming, and I was not dreaming.
You were in the lucid dream.
Yeah,
Man,
that's what I thought.
No.
That's what I thought.
Like a real explosion happened in the building.
Yeah.
An explosion.
Yeah,
Can you believe that? Like, how would that happen?
yeah.
Where in the building?
Wait. I was sleeping, and I thought that it was my dream, and then I started hearing the police like and more police and more police. Probably I thought that somebody hit the building, a car like just hit the building or a truck, whatever. And then I listened more police, and then the second explosion, boom, and all the most of the glasses exploded too. And I was with another
Coworker.
yeah, there with me, and he came into my bedroom. Man, let's go, everything is exploding. And
World War III.
Man, that was crazy.
it was a food truck village that we had next to. So all the trucks were exploding. The first explode, and then the next one exploded, and the next one it was about to explode, but the police
And they don't know how they exploded. Man.
yeah, for no reason. Nobody was there. It was like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
and exploded.
It's not like they finished their shift and they left and something happened after. It's like 5 a.m. after
Yeah.
like how many hours?
Yeah.
So probably, man, that has something to do with, spirits.
The Indians.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. My mom had a car here that she bought from some sketchy guys. So they weren't sketchy when she bought the car. Turns out
They became sketchy after she realized.
turns out that they were drug dealers. They had a front. They had a
Dealership.
They had a car dealership as a front. These guys, my mom met through a friend, and she bought a Toyota Camry. Best car, so good. Toyota's awesome, and she had no issues with the car.
Shout out to Toyota.
Sponsor of this episode.
Yeah.
No, the sponsor of this episode is Cesar's mom.
So the car was great. It was working perfectly fine. But the previous owner was a Native American, Mikasuki. He sold the car, whatever, and got another car. And then he died. So he died after he sold the car. They told my mom, we'll leave it a little cheaper because the guy died. I think he died in the car or something like that. It was like the car was very cheap. And she was like, I don't care. I just need a car. Big mistake. Every time she tried to sell the car, it would break down. It never broke down. Before we moved from Miami back to the Dominican Republic, she tried to sell a car 4 times. She had to take the car to the DR because no one wanted to buy it.
Was the white one?
No, it was a gray. No, it was old. I'm talking about the 90s. The car was perfect, and then when the people would get in the car to test drive, the radiator just starts smoking, and my mom was like, "What the hell is going on?" And I would joke, I'm like, "That's the Indian. The Indian he's in the trunk." Listen, we took the car to the Dominican Republic. They stole the car. We recovered the car. The car broke down when she was gonna sell it again. I was like, "Mom, this has to be the fucking Indian. The Indian guy died in this car," and she's like, I want to get rid of this car. Like, they mugged her. Like, there was a bank heist next to my house, and they dragged her out of her car with like AK-47s. It was ridiculous. Like, it was in the news. The car showed up like a few blocks away, broken down. The car broke down on the guys, and they had to run and find another car.
Damn.
And then she got in the car, and it was working fine. I don't understand what. She finally was able to sell it. I don't know how, but I swear to God that the Indian guy was in that car and just didn't want anyone else to buy it. It was so ridiculous.
Damn.
This story, you can ask her, and she'll say, yeah, the Indian guy, yeah. And then we found out, because the police came to our house once, and they were gonna repo the car, because the dealership never transferred the title to her name, because they went out of business or whatever. They went to jail, something like that. Then my mom found out that they were just drug dealers with a car dealer front. They returned the money to my mom.
Two.
And she had the car for free, and they gave her the title with the Indian inside. Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
there's a lot of like weird stuff that you cannot explain.
Yeah.
But man, like the story about the bad spirits, like in our village, it's a thing. Like we always there's hundreds and hundreds of story like of people walking because long time ago they didn't have cars and my village existed like for a decent time even before cars, so they used to walk and it's still the same families who live there, which is my family, my mom's family, few other families. And every time we sit with anyone they tell us like, oh, I was walking from my house to this monastery and I met this old guy and he was telling me this story about like water and that he's thirsty and then he disappeared. And everyone met this guy and no one know who he is. So there's a lot of creepy stuff, man.
Man,
And I have
I have to drive all the way back home. I'm gonna have a hard time.
Just make sure, man, you stay away from anything.
The mirrors, the rear view mirror, I'm gonna rip it out.
I have a story, and it's not my story. It's one of my friend Laura from my university. Shout out to Laura.
Laura.
She tell us that story, and it's a real story. You know what is the Ouija? The Ouija. I don't
Yeah,
know how you say
the Ouija board.
The spirits move and
Yeah.
have like all
Yeah.
the letters of the
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the
and
Ouija board.
and
Yeah.
the spirit move and you can spell what he wanna say to you. So they bought one of these in Dominican Republic.
I do not know. Fuck no.
And they used to play that. It was like kids playing with this. And it used to move. The spirit used to move that.
In all the scary movies, it's always stupid kids doing stupid
Yeah.
shit,
Yeah.
and they always end up dying. So, kids.
So they were
Do
playing.
not try this at home.
They were playing the game. And, the spirit were answering them and all this. And one of her cousins started screaming. And he ripped his clothing
For no reason?
for no reason. And he started running. And they were all of them were
Chasing
behind
him.
Yeah, chasing him. And he ran till he get to the Malecon, to the water, to the bayside of Dominican Republic. And he stayed there, just watching to the water. And they were trying to talk to him and everything. And he
Who's not answering?
no. That's what I remember from the story. And it's a real story.
Man, you've seen the exorcism of Emily Rose.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's a real story.
Yeah, I don't want to see that movie.
Man.
Last scary movie. The Ring, for me, The Ring was traumatic. Imagine. And that's not even that very scary movie.
And it's
That's
not real,
even-
too.
The
Yes,
Conjuring is really
I don't know.
And
I don't-
the monk.
No,
Is The Conjuring based on a real story?
I don't want to watch those movies.
Yeah, all of them are connected. The toy, how do you call that? The doll,
Annabelle,
Annabelle. Yeah, Annabelle, the nun.
Chucky,
No, not that one.
The Bride of Chucky.
I don't like scary movies. The only one I saw is Emily Rose. Man, it was too much to me.
No.
Like I'm not scared. Like if I watch a movie, I get scared for the moment. Like
No,
because
I don't
shit
like.
happened.
I don't like that. Like being on the edge. If I'm gonna watch a movie,
I want to be relaxed.
I want to enjoy the movie. I don't want to be like, oh my god, and then you always know that the same thing is gonna happen, but still you're scared.
The black guy is going to die. In all the movies,
Oh my
man.
god, that's racist.
Like I don't care.
No, it's real, man. For some reason, like they always kill the black guy.
Yeah. Like
I don't know why.
And the blonde chick.
And the blonde chick.
the stupid one.
Yeah.
So I don't like this movie. Like I don't spend my time like. But we used to go on Halloween. It was a tradition for us. Mm-hmm. Every Halloween we used to go with all my friends from school, from the university. And
So you did celebrate Halloween.
man, go to the movie theater. That's Halloween.
That's not enough. You want a trick and treat, man.
Yeah.
You wanna go trick or treating? It's okay. We'll take you someday.
Thank you. So we used to go there. Like I have some friends that they were scared. Like they were trying to hug you all the time, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
I get scared for the moment, but then I go home and it's like I can be alone by myself and I don't care.
Yeah,
I
man,
don't care till something happened to me. That's my motto. I don't care if there is a spirit right now. You can grab my feet. I don't care. Right now.
What do you think, Miguel?
No,
So,
man, it's
I believe in that, but I don't think if you are a good person, I don't think that can.
yeah. I mean, you're not gonna die, man. But I don't want to feel that feeling.
Yeah,
I don't want to be
I'm
scared.
with God.
Final destination.
I'm with God. You know,
Yeah.
people that are with God.
Yeah.
Your mom is not watching.
She's watching. She don't understand, but she's probably watching. Mom,
I love you.
I love you.
Please forgive him, for he has
Forgive him.
sinned.
Probably she's gonna tell me, you're celebrating
You know
Halloween.
the
Yeah, this is
That's satanism.
satanic. Yeah, satanic.
you know
Yeah.
to me what's really
My mom said the same, man. Say the
Man,
same.
your mom and my mom,
Yeah, they are the same.
the same, but one from Lebanon and the other one from the Dominican Republic.
to me the scary things are traditional, like dark Catholic movies and like the catacombs and all these dark like stories. That's dark.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
say
Like-
that in a church there's a lot of spirits
Inside the church.
inside the
yeah.
church. Like you can't.
That's why I
they
don't
don't allow you to go to the church at night because of that. Like there's demons and everything inside the church.
I believe
Really?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like when you're in the church,
Man, that's scary.
when you're in
Yeah.
the church, like demons get out of you, and probably they stay there. Like
They hang out.
yeah, it's like a point of view.
Yeah.
You know.
No, but all these things related to the Catholic. No hate to the Catholic Church. It's just that traditionally, like, they have a lot of like secret stuff like that you never find out, and like 300 years later, turns out that they had these secret underground, tunnels that connected, and
Not only Catholic Church either, because I grew up in a Muslim and a Christian community. Man, even the Muslim community, they have a lot of story about like the bad spirits, and it's something that I mean they kind of believe in, and we do, like, we believe in, as Catholic, that there is bad spirits, and man, it's just like it's so creepy, man.
yeah,
So creepy.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that was a
they-
scary episode. To be honest, I don't know how I'm gonna be sleeping in bed tonight, and I'm gonna be like,
I have to drive 1
oh,
hour.
shit.
I'm not gonna have a good time.
Probably will
Thank
find the girl like with the
With the
suit
dress,
and yeah,
the,
with the dress.
the bride of the Americas.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I've seen her.
you seen her?
Yeah.
Tell
Yeah.
me.
Which one is it?
So there's this story when you leave the airport
Mm-hmm.
in the DR, when you're going into the city. There's a legend, but I swear that I've seen this lady. I don't know if it was a real person just hitchhiking, but this was a lady with a white dress.
Like she was getting dressed, like getting married.
Yeah. And apparently, like, there's a legend that says that she died in a car accident going to her wedding, and every now and then she shows up in the Americas hitchhiking, or like you're driving and you see this, and it's like back now there's more like lighting, like, but a few years ago you would drive at night and it was pitch black, and imagine driving, nothing in front of you, and your car lights hit this white object just hitchhiking or like waving at you. Fuck no, I'll
That's
go
creepy,
faster. Woo.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
And now that I'm thinking about it, man, sometimes I drive like at night in some, especially when I used to travel to work. I used to drive like in some really disconnected places from the world, like in Alabama, man.
Yeah.
There's no one. Like there's literally no one. Driving, yeah, no, I don't want to have this thought in my head. now I'm afraid to even drive home, man. It's like 5 minutes
Yeah.
away.
I don't mess with those things. And the Ouija, fuck no, never.
I don't like to play with that. I believe in that. Like,
I've
I
heard,
believe.
I've heard stories, and I don't wanna.
We need to try this.
Nope.
You remember the pencil that you used to put with a pencil, right? And they put like yes and no.
Yes.
You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
He was super famous, and the pencil used to move by himself.
No. I don't mess with
What
that.
was the name of that? Do you remember?
I don't know.
Charlie. It was the name.
Oh,
They used to play Charlie.
Did you ever go to the mirror in your bathroom and say Candyman 3 times?
Yeah.
Ah.
They released.
But I'm not gonna say that. I've never.
Man,
Go now.
That was the scariest movie
Yeah.
when I was a child.
I would do that with the lights off, and I couldn't say the third time. I would be like, Candyman. Fuck no, I'm leaving.
So let's do it now.
Have you
No.
seen the movie? Have you seen the
Yeah,
movie?
yeah.
Or there's a new one. No,
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
They released a new one. They told me it was bad. It was
You know which movie is scary to me? Jeepers Creepers. The guy that steals your eyes and rip. You know, you never seen that movie?
No.
This freaking like bad guy that he comes out at night and he haunts people, and he like rips the face, like the skin off, and you've never seen that movie?
I don't want to see it.
That is a rough movie to watch.
Man, there's many movies like Slenderman. Have you heard about it?
No.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Slenderman. And there's a game about it, but man, I will never play that game. Like you're walking in the forest, and like you see that guy, you have to run from him. He's looks super tall, slender man. And man, I was watching videos about this game, but no, I've never.
I don't know
I'll
how
never
people.
fucking
Alexa,
play that.
turn on the lights.
I don't know. I don't know how people
Yeah,
just enjoy this.
Enjoy this.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, let's get together and watch, The Exorcism of Emily Rose, and I'm like, why? Why?
What will put me in that situation? Like,
Yeah, I couldn't. Honestly, I just don't have it in me. And it's not that I'm a scary.
I'm realizing.
no, you're not scary. No.
It's not that I get scared easily. Like I don't. But
Man, I'm realizing that now. Like now that I'm processing all this, because I never really like sat down and like thought about it. This is the first time like we're talking about this.
Yeah.
I'm realizing like fuck this shit. Fuck this.
I'm leaving.
I was scared when I was a child. Like we have a long wall, pasillo,
Hallway.
hallway. Fuck, I'm forgetting everything. I need to drink.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. We have a long hallway, and you have a light in the beginning, so you have to turn off the
Oh,
light
you would turn it off and run.
and run to your bedroom.
That's because in his house he didn't have 3-way lights.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't exist.
No, man, I used to do the same. Like when we were living in the apartment, and sometimes like my parents used to go out, and I have to sleep. Because when I was a kid, I had some like dreams that are very very scary, and it's one of those dreams are like similar to what you were telling at the beginning of the episode. When you see something, you see a shadow, and you think it's actually like a ghost. And your mind keep telling you like this is a ghost, and then you panic. So I was always like, if I need to go to the bathroom, man, sometimes I used like when I was a kid, I used to like shit the bed or pee the bed just so I don't have to go to the bathroom.
Really?
Because like fuck that
Wow. How old are you?
shit.
Oh, that's weak.
Yeah, it's scary. It's scary.
Yeah. No, yeah, I would,
Man.
I would just jump. Anyway, I'm not gonna sleep tonight thanks to you guys.
Well, that was a spooky episode.
Yeah,
Julio, what happened to him?
going down memory lane.
Yo,
He died.
he's transforming.
I want to scare you, but
He's transforming.
Yeah. Now I'm going to remembering all these.
he's gonna put like Bad Bunny.
Shout out,
Yeah.
shout out to Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
Taking the scary thoughts away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Cesar, thank you for being with us again.
Thank you guys.
Dead creepy skeleton, thank you for coming.
Miguel, give me my hat.
Oh, we're calling the skeleton Miguel because Miguel was supposed to be like our fourth guest on this episode, but no show. Probably the ghost ate him or something.
The zombies.
The zombies.
Yeah.
Man, we didn't talk about our characters, but it's okay.
Yes. I mean, what would you do if there was a zombie apocalypse?
I would be Negan, man. Just have the bat the shit out of them.
I would have
Oh,
the bow and arrow.
Yeah.
I probably have this body.
Drink the pain away.
Take me.
Get drunk and just walk with them, man.
They'll probably say, "Oh, this guy's dead already."
Yeah. So yeah, man.
Well,
It
I'm
was-
Negan from The Walking Dead. For if someone doesn't know.
Man, you look like him. Like,
Yeah,
they
you
can
look-
hire like a. Like an extra.
Not everyone knows like what he looks like.
trust
Not-
me, everybody's seen The Walking Dead, and everybody's seen the sketch of Dave Chappelle as Negan as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, signing out. Thank you for coming again,
Thank you.
Julio.
Oh, and happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween and
you
get
know,
get creepy, guys.
and
Yeah.
and
You need to watch this episode at night.
at 1 in the
Yes.
morning,
Yeah, at 3:33.
3:33 a.m.
Man, I'm not gonna watch. I'm not gonna edit this
You have
episode.
to edit
I'm gonna edit this episode at 12 a.m.
Now, we never addressed the Halloween, modern day Halloween is, everybody says it, it's an excuse for just everybody
Party.
to go fucking
Get
crazy.
Yeah.
And
And be
like
slutty.
all these costumes,
Be slutty.
all these, you have like
No, that's the reason.
yeah,
Be slutty.
yeah,
Be slutty.
like a sexy scream. Now it's not the classic scream. There's probably a sexy scream.
Uh-huh.
You know, the sexy
The
nurse,
nurse, the
the
police.
sexy cop.
The sexy firefighter.
Yeah, you're
The
like
sexy astronaut.
you're like why?
And then you
what
have like
happened?
one creepy eggplant.
Yeah, you're like what happened? Like when did this transformation? When did this shift? Because when I was growing up, you would dress and you would see like grown-ups dressed as like Power Rangers.
Yeah.
And,
Now the
you
sexy
know,
Power Ranger.
yeah, now it's like probably with a thong and you know it's
Now the only way to dress up is to not dress up.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's always the Cupid guy, who's been working out and he wants to show his you know his muscles. So he takes his sheets, just wraps it around or a diaper,
Yeah.
and then he just goes out like
To show
fuck
off.
this.
We need to go to we need to go to like a party, man. We are already dressed up. It's for me it's too hot. I'm wearing a leather jacket in fucking Miami, but whatever.
And I'm wearing pants, short pants. So
Yeah.
that's not part of the
You're like the Miami Jack Sparrow.
Miami version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun, man. That was fun.
Yeah.
Stay,
I don't know about fun. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna go home kind of concerned.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, Julio, thank you for hosting us at your place.
Thank you. You have to help me to take
I'm
this
leaving now. I don't
motherfucking-
know.
And Alexa, please turn on the light.
She doesn't know.
She's
She
not
knows
gonna answer.
Spanish. Alexa, prende luz sala.
Wow, that's very technical.
Alexa,
It's okay.
prende luz sala. Okay.
All right.
And
Oh, there you go.
damn.
Wow.
And guys, we'll see you on the next one.
All right. Thank you.
Cheers.